ever wondered how the land of the free and the home of the brave came to be? Long before the first Europeans set foot on American soil, this vast land was densely populated by indigenous peoples. They were the first stewards of this rich and diverse landscape. From the Iroquois in the northeast, the Cherokee in the southeast, to the Sioux in the Great Plains, and the Navajo in the southwest, each tribe had its unique culture, language, and way of life. These early societies thrived, developing intricate social structures, religious beliefs, and artistic expressions that continue to resonate today. But the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1492 marked a turning point in the history of this land. A Genovese explorer sailing under the Spanish flag, Columbus set out to find a westward route to Asia, but ended up on the shores of a new world instead. This unexpected discovery opened the floodgates for European exploration and colonization, setting in motion a series of events that would forever change the face of the continent. The Europeans brought with them not only their thirst for gold and new territories, but also diseases to which the indigenous peoples had no immunity. The population of the indigenous tribes dwindled dramatically, their cultures disrupted, their lands seized. Yet despite these adversities they persevered, their spirit unbroken, their legacy undiminished. As the Europeans began to stake their claim on this newfound land, they also brought with them their own cultures, languages, and religions. The seeds of what we now know as the United States of America were being sown. These were the enigmatic beginnings, a blend of cultures and histories, of conquest and survival, of old worlds meeting new. The story of America is a tapestry woven from these diverse threads, a story of resilience and transformation, of trials and triumphs. It's a story that continues to evolve, shaped by the people who call this land their home. As the dawn of the 16th century approached, a new chapter was about to begin in the history of this vast land. The 16th century marked the beginning of a transformative era, a period of colonization and conflict. The vast uncharted lands of North America became a canvas for European powers to paint their ambitions. With the establishment of the 13 colonies, England, France, and the Netherlands all played their part, staking their claim on the New World. Each colony was a world unto itself, shaped by the unique cultural, economic, and political influences of their respective mother countries. The stony shores of New England, for instance, became a haven for the Puritans seeking religious freedom, establishing a culture of industry, self-government, and religious conformity. Down the coast, in the middle colonies, a more diverse population flourished. English, Dutch, and German settlers coexisted, creating a melting pot of cultures. The economy here was a mix of farming and commerce, with bustling ports like New York and Philadelphia becoming critical trade centers. Further south, the colonies of Virginia and Maryland, with their fertile soil and warm climate, turned to agriculture. Their vast tobacco and later cotton plantations, run on the back of enslaved Africans, created a society deeply divided between the wealthy planters and the enslaved. And then, there were the outliers. Pennsylvania, founded by the English Quaker William Penn, became a refuge for persecuted religious groups. Georgia, the last of the 13 to be established, was intended as a place for debtors and the poor of England to start anew. Yet, as diverse as these colonies were, they had one thing in common: a growing discontent with British rule. Taxes, trade restrictions, and a lack of representation in the British Parliament all sowed the seeds of dissent. The rumblings of revolution were starting to echo across the Atlantic, resonating with the colonists' hunger for self-governance. As the 18th century dawned, the winds of change were blowing, heralding the birth of a new nation. The year 1775 saw the spark of rebellion ignite into a full-blown revolution. A confluence of factors, from the strain of British colonial rule to the burning desire for self-determination, had been simmering beneath the surface of the American colonies. When the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord, they weren't just the opening salvos of a war, they were the birth cries of a nation yearning to be free. The Revolutionary War was a struggle of monumental proportions, fought not just on battlefields but in the hearts and minds of the people. It was a war of ideas, of philosophies, of principles. Amidst the smoke and fire, the Declaration of Independence emerged in 1776, a beacon of hope and a bold assertion of freedom. Penned by Thomas Jefferson, it was more than a document, it was a promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The war raged on for 7 long years, a grueling test of endurance and resolve. But the colonists, under the leadership of General George Washington, persevered. They faced hardship, they faced loss, but they never lost sight of the dream of independence, and in 1783, with the signing of the Treaty of Paris, that dream became a reality. The United States of America was born. But victory on the battlefield was just the first step. The real challenge lay ahead. The newly formed nation was an experiment in governance and freedom, unlike anything the world had seen. It was a vast, diverse land filled with people from different backgrounds and beliefs, all united under one flag, one constitution. The echoes of revolution were still ringing as the nation faced its next challenge, defining its identity, crafting a constitution, establishing a government, balancing the rights of states with the needs of the nation. These were the tasks that lay before the leaders of the new republic. With the echoes of the revolution still ringing, the newly formed nation faced the challenge of defining its identity. The 19th century was a period of rapid growth and profound change for the United States. As we move further into this era, we encounter a nation on the move, a nation in flux. The vast, untamed wilderness of the American West beckoned. The spirit of manifest destiny, a belief that the United States was destined to stretch from coast to coast, fueled a westward expansion that forever altered the landscape of the country. Pioneers, prospectors, and entrepreneurs ventured into uncharted territories, establishing new communities, sparking gold rushes, and pushing the frontier ever westward. This westward expansion, however, was not without its conflicts and controversies, as it often meant displacement and devastation for Native American tribes. Parallel to this geographical expansion, another revolution was underway: the Industrial Revolution. The United States was transforming from an agrarian society into an industrial powerhouse. Factories sprouted up in the north, churning out goods at an unprecedented rate. Innovations like the steam engine, the telegraph, and the railroad drastically reshaped the economy, the way people worked and how they lived. But along with prosperity, industrialization brought its own set of challenges. As cities grew, so did the gap between the rich and the poor, leading to social and economic disparities. In the midst of these transformative processes, the United States was also grappling with deep-seated issues that had been simmering since its founding. Issues of race, rights, and state sovereignty, culminating in the Civil War. This bloody conflict left an indelible mark on the nation, fundamentally altering its political landscape and societal fabric. The war brought an end to slavery, redefined citizenship, and cemented federal supremacy. Yet, it also left scars that would take generations to heal. The period of Reconstruction that followed was a time of healing and transformation, as the nation grappled with the legacy of slavery and the challenges of integrating freed slaves into the social, political, and economic life of the country. As the 19th century drew to a close, the United States stood on the brink of becoming a global power. The stage was set for the country to step into the 20th century, a period that would see it ascend to new heights of influence and power. The 20th century saw the United States emerge as a world leader, a role it continues to play in the 21st century. As the clock ticked into the 1900s, the nation found itself on an unprecedented journey of growth and change. The early 20th century was marked by the nation's involvement in 2 world wars. This was a time that tested the mettle of the United States like never before. The nation responded with valor, showcasing its military prowess and resilience on the global stage. But the trials were not confined to the battlefields. Back home, the Great Depression presented a different kind of war. It was an economic crisis that brought the country to its knees. But America, true to its spirit, rose from the ashes. The nation not only recovered but laid the groundwork for an economic boom that would make it a global powerhouse. The mid-20th century was a pivotal time for social justice. The civil rights movement sparked a nationwide conversation about equality and freedom. It was a period of transformation, as the nation took significant strides towards ensuring equal rights for all its citizens. As the century drew to a close, a new revolution began to reshape the United States: the digital revolution. The rise of technology and the internet propelled the nation into the information age. This era marked a transition from traditional industry to an economy based on information technology. The United States once again was at the forefront of this change, leading the world into a new era of innovation and connectivity. This journey through the 20th century and beyond is a testament to the United States' adaptability and resilience. It's a narrative of a nation that has faced trials and tribulations, yet has continually emerged stronger, proving its mettle time and time again. The history of the United States is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a story of struggle, triumph, and constant evolution.